problems accessing products and services online. So again, navigating, if people aren't familiar with websites, aren't familiar with kind of computers and technology, being able to have a website that is just simple to get around and a bit kind of easy to understand and navigate is key. And that kind of last point there, it's all about bridging the gap of the digital divide. So again, as we said, that idea that it allows everybody to access information in a way that suits them, that makes them comfortable, and is going to help improve that retention, understanding, focus, all those good things that when they do come to the website, they're going to take away the information that they need to. So I think we've probably kind of covered this, but organizations often exclude their audience by creating complicated content. So a few stats here: 90% of websites are inaccessible to people with disabilities and people who rely on assistive technology. So that's a massive, massive amount. And at Textile with Reachdeck, we really do hope that we're kind of at least kind of a drop in the ocean of that kind of 90% to help people create more accessible content on websites. 70% of people with disabilities will click away from an inaccessible site. We all know how frustrating that can be if we're trying to find something on a particular site and we just can't get to the information we need. We're left feeling frustrated. We're left feeling perhaps that we can't do the task at hand or get something done. So again, it's something that we should all be aware of. And another fact there, according to WHO, so the World Health Organization, only 1 in 10 people in need have access to the assistive products that they need. So a very small amount of people will have the technology that's going to help them browse the web and surf the web in a way that suits them. So ICON recognised the importance of ensuring that everyone can use the website and services regardless of device or assistive technologies. And that's really where Reachdeck comes in. So what is Reachdeck? A good question that I'll hopefully be able to answer. So Reachdeck is an all-in-one solution that helps break down communication barriers and helps to support every single website visitor. It helps to protect communications, content, and reputation. It improves accessibility, readability, and reach of online content, and it empowers everyone to communicate with confidence. So this is by no means any sort of sales presentation or anything like that. It's really just an education session. So I'm going to focus on the toolbar today, but I suppose it's just to kind of be mindful of the fact that Reachdeck comes in 3 parts. So the first part there is the auditor, and that really helps with what are called the WCAG, so the Website Content Accessibility Guidelines. And it's this kind of list, a big massive list of I think over 300 kind of guidelines and points that decide how accessible your website is. So the idea that the auditor can scan the website and flag up any compliance issues, and then it will allow kind of the people who are responsible for the website to change anything, to change the structure of it, to allow that to be a bit more accessible. The auditor also will flag and scan for readability. So is this content easy to understand? Are there any long sentences that people may not be able to focus and have the retention for? And as well, then it will scan for any broken links. So the broken links is such a simple thing to miss, especially when you're constantly updating websites, creating content, adding new pages. Broken links where, if you click on something and it doesn't take you to the right page, or it takes you to no page at all, it's something that is so easily overlooked, but something that can really impair somebody's journey on the site. The second part then is the editor. So while the auditor is kind of a lot about the structure and flow of your website, the editor is there really to help with the content. So again, we'll flag any spelling and grammar errors, any what are called jargon words, so any words that perhaps people may not understand, and allows you to then, as the name suggests, edit that content to make it as simple and easy to read as possible, while also helping to get your message across. So just to give you a bit of an idea that we have those 3 tools. the toolbar is absolutely fantastic in my humble opinion, but the toolbar really is only as good as the website. So once you've got kind of the structure and everything sorted with the auditor, and once you've got the content sorted with the editor, that's when the toolbar really can shine. So that's exactly what Icon are doing, using all three together to make sure that the website that's put out there is as accessible and easy to navigate as possible. So focusing then just on the toolbar, who can benefit from an assistive toolbar? Again, I think another easy question, and the idea or the answer really to that is everybody. So I'm not going to read out every bullet point there, but it's just to give you an idea that we can all use a bit of help once in a while. So we know that we have people out there using the toolbar on different websites, and they use it every day, and they use maybe multiple features. And that's great, but it's such a sliding scale. You may have somebody then just one day that has eye strain or a migraine and doesn't want to sit and read a big document or a web page, and they can simply click on our feature of text to speech and have that page be read out loud to them. So it's just giving their eyes a bit of a break, and instead of them staring at a screen. And the idea then, as I said, is such a sliding scale. And just at the bottom there, that is the toolbar that we're going to see, but we're going to see it live in action in just a minute. So with that being said, let's look at the toolbar. So hopefully if I click on this, everybody can then see the web page. So at the minute, so I've just come on to a page on the Icon site. And you can see here, we've got this little kind of orange button with the accessibility symbol. If we hover over it, it pops up with listen with the Reachdeck toolbar. So if I click that open, and you can see then that the toolbar pops up. The really nice thing about the toolbar is if I scroll down, the toolbar stays there, so it's not that I lose it at the top. And again, that's all to do with how the people at Icon have decided to set this up on the website to make it as easy as possible for anybody wanting to use it. So I will quickly go through a few of the different features. And as we said, any questions or anything, please feel free to pop something in the chat or come off mute, ask a question. Please feel free to interrupt, and I'll be more than happy to answer anything. But to kick off then, I suppose I'll show you kind of the text to speech as I was talking about. These first kind of four symbols, I suppose, the little kind of hand that with the pointer, play, stop, and pause. So all of these are related to the text to speech. And again, as I said, does what it says on the tin. It will read any text out loud for you. So if I click on this one and click into the text.
Babies cry for many reasons. They are hardwired to cry whenever they need a parent to help them.
So you can see there, and hopefully could hear that the sentence is highlighted in yellow, and as the word is being read out loud, it's highlighted in blue. So it's that idea of the audio visual reinforcement. So somebody who can see the word and hear it at the same time, that's going to have a better chance of understanding, focus, and retention. So this little pointer, I suppose, it means that I can travel anywhere within the website and click on any part of the text and it will read it out loud for me. The play button then is slightly different. What this does is that it starts reading at the very, very top and start of the web page. And the idea behind this is that if I'm new to the site, if I don't know exactly where I need to go, if I don't know kind of the particular page, I can press play and it will start reading the menus and all the different drop downs and hopefully guide me to where I need to go. Excuse me. So that's text to speech, and obviously that's great because it's reading out the website is in English and it's reading it out in English for me. But translate is really the next feature that I want to show, and a really great one as well. So it's this kind of next one on the toolbar here. So what I can do is I can click this open, excuse me, and I can then click into the drop down here, and I have the ability to translate any text on the website. So I have the ability to just scroll down And as you can see, there is a lot of different languages that can be translated into, and any here with the little kind of symbol, or the speaker symbol, sorry, means that not only can I translate the text, but I can actually have that text be read out loud in that language as well. So really nice if perhaps English isn't your first language, you're able to kind of read it and listen to it in a language that suits you. I can scroll as I've shown you, or if I start to type, you can see here that I can then search for the language that I want to translate into. And if I click that, all being well, everything is then translated. So obviously anything, as you can see here, anything that's a picture will not be, but the main body of the text absolutely will be. And then from there, I can do exactly what I've done already, and I can have that be read out loud to me.
Bebelușii plâng din mai multe motive. Sunt pregătiți să plângă ori de câte ori au nevoie de un părinte care să-l ajute.
So my Romanian is absolutely not great at all, but it's nice to hear as well that then it's in kind of that the local language, local accent. So it's, you know, trying to be as supportive as possible. So there's a whole host of different languages there that can be translated into, and we're also constantly adding on different languages as well. So if there's anything in particular that you can't see on the on that list, please do let us know, and we'd be more than happy to send that back to our product team, and they can research into trying to get that onto the list then. And I suppose while I'm in a different language here, I'll show you the question mark here. We have kind of a bit of a help section, and it suggests kind of tells you what each of the features do. So it's just to show you that it actually translates that as well, so people can really get the most out of the toolbar. But for now, we will go back to English, and you can see at a click of a button, everything is changed back. So then this is the help section that I was talking about. So you can see that it gives a slight description of each of the features there. So it's kind of, again, trying to help people as much as possible. So I don't want to go through everything in too much detail, because I'm conscious this is quite a short session and I could talk forever. So I suppose just to kind of hit on a few of the other features as well. So we have here a picture dictionary. So this is, instead of a normal dictionary, I can select a picture, or sorry, no, I can select a word, and instead of me giving the dictionary definition, it's going to give me a picture. So pictures are a bit more universally understood, and especially if sometimes perhaps giving more words to define one word is not the best way. So the idea that a picture pops up to help people as they're reading. This is really nice as well. This is an MP3 feature, so I can select any body of text and save it down as an audio file. So like when we had the text to speech and it read it out loud there for me, I can save it down as an audio file and listen to it at a time that suits me. And if the translate function is there to have that translated audio, I can save it down in that language as well. So this, I know we've spoken about different documents and stuff and translating those. So I did have a look to see if there was any that I could use as kind of an example. So I haven't found any yet, but that is something that I do, we can help with. It's how the PDFs are set up. So it's definitely something that we can help with to make sure that even then the PDFs can be translated as well. Yes, Susan.
I think you're right, they weren't there before. We've just had our website updated, so you made that it has literally just been done. So sure. On our resources tab, there is a section there with leaflets, and it's got translatable ones. So those are the ones, the way it says translatable resources, those are our ones that we can translate from the PDF. That is very new.
Happy days. Okay, great.
And that's so obviously what we get lots of questions about, people wanting to know.
So absolutely. So then we'll jump back to that then. So these are exactly what I was looking for, and apologies that I didn't find it. I was trying to do some research this morning. So yes,
it's literally just been added, not you.
Okay, well, that's good to know. So yes, absolutely. Anything in this translatable resources, then, as you can see, if I click into this one, for example, then you can see that I've already had the Reachdeck toolbar open. And then it will follow me kind of into this PDF. So it's being able to use just the exact same way. So let's see, we'll go again, we'll go Spanish this time for just a bit of a change. And there we go. So it will scan through that PDF and change everything to be into Spanish. It even, I don't know if it's too small, but it even kind of changes the prompts and the commands up here into that language as well. And again, same thing that we've just seen there of the MP3 audio file. I can select that document, select the text in there, save it down and listen to it at a time that suits me. So it's really nice that, you know, we all know that notoriously PDFs are pretty inaccessible. So it's really nice to see that PDFs on a website, we can use the whole kind of toolbar and all the features there. Quickly then, I suppose, showing you a few of the other ones. We have, I'll go back to where there's some text. We have screen masking. So we can change.
Suzanne's got a hand up.
Oh, sorry, yes, go ahead.
Hi, Rebecca, sorry. Yeah. Just going back to the leaflet on the translatable resources one, I think it's, you know, not all, I think you've said, haven't you, not all of the languages will read out loud.
Yeah, absolutely. So at the minute.
So I'm just playing with it at the minute, and if you haven't got it out loud, like Punjabi, I don't think it will read out loud at the moment. But what you can do is you can still have it translated, so the translation of the words will be there, and you can do screenshots of that. This is what I've done in the past. You can do a screenshot of that translation and send it to the parent or carer who is asking for that information. But I suppose the key point for me in this is that you still will need an interpreter to go through this with people, because in the same way as you would with anything, because Icon isn't just about giving a leaflet, it's about, you know, going through it with somebody. So it's better than nothing at all, but I would still emphasize that, you know, it's a start, but you still need to get an interpreter available if possible. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you for that. And as I said, we are constantly trying to add new languages on and new audio translations as well. So do, even if, for example, if you're translating something and you see that there's not that audio option, you know, do check again, because we do try and get things on quite frequently. And the main reasons that we don't have audio options for a few is either the audio option is just not up to scratch and not something that we want to put on the toolbar, or simply we just haven't been asked for it. So as I said, any that you see that you think I really would like that, please do feed that back to us and we'll do all we can to get an audio option as well as the text translation for that.
Thanks for that, Rebecca.
Thanks, no problem. And a few more. Well, if you'll indulge me for a few minutes, I'll show you that another few very quickly. So we have our screen masking. So really nice if people perhaps have cognitive load difficulties, and if there's a lot of the website that you're directing them to, it's a busy page or there's a lot of information, it's always good to see that they have the ability to kind of grey out the majority of the screen and just kind of focus on maybe a sentence or a paragraph at a time. And this is all customizable. Then they can change kind of the size of the what we call our reading light, so the kind of the pane that's following my cursor there. So just something to be aware of. We also then have the final one I'll show you actually is the simplified page. So what this does, again, perhaps for some people, that there's a lot of different colors here on the screen. There's, you know, images, there's different text boxes. It can be quite overwhelming for some people. But what the simplify button does, as the name suggests, is that it will pull everything away to just have that text. And what we can do then is we can change the size of the text. We can change the font. We can change the contrast. So if somebody is going to have that kind of black on white, that's going to be better for them. They can kind of scroll down and see this. We can simplify even further. So we can just, what this will do is it will constantly look for the most important text on that page and simplify that down and make sure that kind of the key messages are still there without perhaps that distraction of images or different colors, different fonts, that sort of a thing. And it's pretty straightforward. We can just kind of click it off and it goes back to the normal site then. So that is a very kind of whistle stop tour, I suppose, of the toolbar and of Reachdeck. So I suppose that the last thing then, what are the next steps? Just head to the website yourselves, have a look for that accessibility icon in the top left, and try it out for yourself. We also do have our academy. So I'll click on this and we can share the link. But basically this is where all our resources are. So if we scroll down, you can see that there'll be, we have feature tours, we have learning resources, how-to articles. So something for yourselves as well to get familiar with the toolbar, but also something as well that can actually be signposted from the icon site for people who want to use the toolbar and understand a bit more about it. That is there, and we're constantly again trying to update it with all the different resources and all the kind of most up-to-date information. So that is kind of it from me. Thank you so much for taking the time to listen to me. Are there any questions or anything that you'd like to see again?
Thanks, Rebecca. That was really useful. I mean, I knew about the translate, but there's still lots of things there that I didn't know about. And, you learn something every day, don't you? And I think it's really important to be able to obviously use that. And translating the leaflets, like I say, we get asked that question on a regular basis.
Absolutely. It's so handy to be able to do that. It's not.
So.
Sorry. Yeah. What do you have any recommendation? I mean, it's such a fantastic tool as Reachdeck. Obviously, that's why we've put it on the website. That's why we've got the license, but we're not managing to push it out and get people to use it like they should. This is why we wanted you to do a webinar on it, and it will be recorded, and we'll be able to direct people to it. But is there anything else we can do at the front of our website to direct people to it? Because people aren't, I don't think. That's right, isn't it, Sue?
Yeah, I would say, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. So we have looked into this before, that perhaps there was some sort of pop-up or something, but that would always that comes kind of from our end, but that would always be somebody actually clicking into the toolbar. So if somebody's got that far, then they're probably gonna at least give it a go. So what like, we have a lot of different kind of resources and templates that you can put into, you can send out emails to people that it's there, you can put a blog post up, put something in a newsletter. We also have an accessibility statement template. So again, I can share that with you after. But it's that idea that if somebody is perhaps not familiar with the Launchpad or doesn't know that Reachdeck is there, they may be more likely to search for the accessibility statement on the website.
Oh, right.
And if your accessibility statement talks about Reachdeck and talks about kind of the features of the toolbar, then they know where to look for it. So that could be something that could perhaps encourage them to have a look at it. So again, we have that template ready to go, so I can send that to you. Use all of it, use 2 lines of it. It's up to yourselves, but at least that's kind of
definitely borrow that off you. And
yeah,
I suppose it's more for the translation as well, that people still expect leaflets to be translated in a variety of languages. And we, like Sue said, we're constantly responding to emails saying we don't translate it. If you want to get it translated, feel free, because all the stuff's downloadable and you can take it to a printer and get them to translate it, or our print provider will do that for you. But really, we want people to not email us to ask. It's no problem answering the question, don't get me wrong. It's just that we want people to think, right, there's a resource there I know I can tap into. So we're going to have a play with Sue and I have been discussing this, and we've thought, if we put that, you went into the translatable resources bit, putting that sort of on the front page might help, but and we'll see how it goes. But we really want to get more people to use Reachdeck because it's such a fantastic resource.
Absolutely, I agree. And actually, just thinking there, if Translate really is the kind of the focus, you do have the ability to. So you see, at the minute, there's the symbol is kind of the little accessibility icon of the man. On kind of the back end of your portal, you do have the ability to change that to kind of the same symbol as the Translate feature on the toolbar. So again, as with how the accessibility symbol is something that perhaps is commonly known in the neurodiverse community, perhaps that Translate symbol is something that may be more well known for people where English isn't their first language, and it may be something that they look for. So you do have the ability as well. I would again, we can send you some more information on how to do that. It's pretty simple, but even just to play about with the different logos and different, you can change you can have your own text there for the launchpad and stuff, and see kind of what works best for you.
Could I just take this opportunity on those on the call to ask colleagues on the call, how do you think we could highlight that this facility is available and that people go to that rather than look for a printed leaflet in another language? Is anybody on the call got any ideas about how we could improve that on the website? You must have some ideas.
I know somebody's put in about can the leaflets be printed in different languages, which we get asked that question as well, which is why you explained, Sue, didn't you, about screenshotting and transferring it, because they can't be printed because of the way
we can't print them. Icon can't print them. You can ask for them to be printed in other languages, but really we should be getting away from printing leaflets, I think, shouldn't we? We should be using more digital sort of forms of communication. Just invite colleagues to make a comment on that. Am I wrong in that? What's your view in that? What do you do?
I was just thinking, sorry, I'm a midwife training to be a health visitor, and I was just thinking, I used to be the new coordinator at East Cheshire, and we use QR codes, and it takes you straight to a website, and it's got the option then to go to the different languages that they've got, so it's quite easy for the parents.
Yeah.
So it might be another thing to think about.
Yeah, no, that's a good idea. Are most people doing that? Are most people using QR codes?
How does that work, Caroline? So we do have QR codes on all our leaflets that take you to the website. So sorry, I'm being a bit thick here.
It's a national thing, and I think the national newborn screening team, we're one of the first to go digital. So we do have booklets if people want them, a bit like you do have hard copies of leaflets. But we literally show them at booking the QR code, and it takes you straight to the website, and it's got all the different languages there, so they can just click on that, and then they've got all the screening information in that language. So it is quite easy. Screening test for you and your baby. So it's, if you Google that, you could see that anyway.
Okay, brilliant. Anybody else want to comment?
No.
Okay.
I think that's been really helpful, hasn't it, really?
Really helpful.
Good. I'm glad. And those kind of few resources and things I can send over. But any other questions or anything, please do feel free to reach out. That's what we're here for. So anything we can do to help, we'll be more than happy to.
And I'll just put the link in, as I have done for the others. Somebody's put, we have a QR code on NICU for all info in different languages.
Smashing.
I still don't understand how that works.
So perhaps you could reach out to Caroline or because I can't see the chat, apologies, so I don't know who's made the comments, but perhaps you could reach out, Sue, and ask for a demo, or as Caroline suggested, you just Google what it is. She suggested you Google
screening test.
Screening test for you and your baby. And actually, because I've done presentations and kind of showing up other midwives. If you Google the QR code, screening test for your baby QR code, it comes up. Hover your camera over it like you normally would your phone, and then it kind of self-explanatory from there, really.
Yeah,
That's
brilliant.
great. I definitely have a little look at that. Thanks, Caroline.
Sure.
Well, that's great. Thank you very much, Rebecca. But like I say, it will be on the website for people to watch as well. And I'm sure we'll be coming back to you with more questions.
Absolutely. No, please do. As I said, that's what we're here for. And thanks again for having us. It's been really nice to be able to share some tips and tricks with you.
Thanks very much, Rebecca. Brilliant.
Thanks so much.
Rebecca. Thank you.
Thanks. Bye. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.